and today's class will discuss about the study models. As we all know, in study models, it's also a clinical exercise for us. So in your third year and final year classes, so in study models, it's always required. As we know, it is an essential diagnostic aids to treat a orthodontic patient and to diagnose and to plan a treatment. So what is the study models? In orthodontic, study models are the accurate plaster, replica, reproduction of the teeth and their surrounding soft tissues, and they provide three-dimensional view of the dentition. So we can visualize whole dentition with the help of study models. So what are the requirements of study models? They should accurately reproduce the teeth and the soft tissue without any distortion. Second one is it should trim symmetrically on either side, both upper and lower. Like study models are two maxillary and mandibular study models, so they should trim symmetrically, and the posterior surface should be trimmed such that we can place on their back. They should reproduce the occlusion. So this is the example of study models. You can see these are the base former that we'll discuss after. So this is the maxillary cast, maxillary study model, and this is mandibular study model. So while occluding, this surface should be flat and this should touches the floor. Okay, so this upper one is maxillary study model and this one is lower. This is mandibular study model, and they should reproduce the alveolar process as much as possible. So parts of study models, again there are two parts. First is anatomic part, and next is artistic part. Anatomic part, it includes the dental arches and surrounding soft tissue. So here you can see these are the anatomic parts, and this one is artistic part. Okay, so this is the artistic part of this maxilla, and this one is for mandible. So there are few steps, total 5 steps are there for the construction of study models. First is impression making, next is disinfection of the impression, third one is casting the impression, fourth is basing and trimming of the cast, and final one is finishing and polishing of the study model. So first is impression making. We should take impression with the help of alginate or other rubber based material. So first it should record hard and soft tissue completely, and it should be extended to the limit of the sulcus of maxilla and mandibular. Next is maxillary impression should not extend to the soft tissue palate, and patient should be asked to rinse the mouth before impression, after the impression. And in orthodontic impression, we should always take the help of high flange trays. So by that we can reproduce the soft tissue easily. And then last is mostly we are using alginate for the impression. So next is the impression disinfection. First we should rinse thoroughly with the water, and after that disinfection is done by the soaking in a glutaraldehyde or ethyl alcohol or isopropyl alcohol. So by that we can disinfect the impression. Next is casting the impression. We should cast it this orthodontic impression with the help of dental stone, and we should always remember, we should always eliminate the air bubbles, because while mixing air bubble will be there. For that we can use vibrator. So with the help of vibrator we can eliminate the air bubbles in the dental stone. Next is the basing and trimming of the cast. So first we fill the area occupied by the tongue in the mandibular impression with the alginate. So in mandibular impression there will be a hollow space will be there because of tongue, so we should eliminate that area, and after that we should pour this impression with the help of stone. Next is the stone is added completely to all the anatomic parts. So first we should pour the tooth portion, and after that we should pour the soft tissue part of the impression. Then the remaining stone poured into the base former. So these are the base former. For maxilla it is different. This is the base former for maxilla, and this one is for mandible. So after pouring the impression, we should pour these base formers with the help of stone or plaster and after that we'll put the impression over the this base former. Okay, so if you can see for maxilla, if this is the your poured impression with and we hold the portion of this base former and we'll put this cast over it. Okay, so this is how we pour this, and after the pouring this impression into the base former, we should always tap it to avoid the air bubble. After that we'll remove the impression trace after the stone is hardened. So this steady cast analysis is done over the steady models, and it's also known as the gnathostatic model by the Simon. It was given in 1926, and here you can see there are 3 planes. Okay, first is anterior posterior direction, this plane. Second one is transverse, and last one is vertical plane. Okay, so this is occlusal plane, this is transverse plane, and this is sagittal plane. So there are plaster models are oriented in the mid-palatal raphe, tuberosity plane, and the occlusal plane for the steady cast analysis. And these model analysis helps in their 3-dimensional assessment of the maxillary and the mandibular dental arches and their occlusal relationships. The upper surface of maxillary steady models, it corresponds to the Frankfurt horizontal plane. So here you can see the upper part of this maxillary base, it always in relation to the parallel to the Frankfurt horizontal plane. In this diagram you can see this is the Frankfurt horizontal plane. So the upper surface of maxillary steady model, it should always be parallel with the Frankfurt horizontal plane. According to American Board of Orthodontics 1990, the frontal view of steady models, here you can see these are the frontal view of models. This one is anatomic part, and this is artistic portion of the model. There is an adequate height of this artistic portion along with anatomic portion. So here you can see in anteriorly the height should be 3.5 from the maxillary base to the maxillary dentition, 3.5 to 4 centimeter, and 3.5 to 4 centimeter from the base of mandibular steady model to the incisal edges of the mandible. Posteriorly, the height should be 7 to 7.5 centimeter. Now these are the models. There is some angulation on which we should always perform the trimming. Anteriorly, the trimming should be 25 degree. You can see this is the anterior part of this maxillary portion. So this angle should be 25 degree. Posteriorly, we trim the cast from here, and this angle should be, if we draw a line from here to here, this angle should be 90 degree, and this should be 70 degree. So here you can see this anterior portion, this is 25 degree and it is 90 degree. Okay, and the space from the anatomic portion and the artistic portion, it should be 5 mm. So 5 mm space from anteriorly, from buccally, and from posteriorly. So there should be always 5 mm space should be there between anatomic part and the your artistic part. For the mandibular occlusion, again you can see here the space between the anatomic portion and the artistic portion should be 5 to 6 mm anteriorly, buccally, and posteriorly. Again the angulation is 90 degree. If you can see, if we'll draw a line from here to here, this angle should be 90 degree, and from anteriorly it should be round in shape. Here you can see it is a half circle shape. Next part is finishing and polishing of this model. So artistic portion of the study model, it should be polished using fine grained sandpaper, and we should always take care that the edges should not be round off, and we should not touch the anatomic part of the model. Next is the final polishing. Polishing, it is done by the placing the soap solution, and after that we'll dry it off, and buffing if to acquire a smooth and shiny surface. Now, what are the uses of study models? It is used to calculate the space analysis. In your next classes, we'll discuss about the space analysis or study model analysis, in which we can calculate the tooth material and the arch discrepancy, whether the tooth material axis. So we can rule out whether we have to go for extraction or non-extraction in the case. So we can easily plan our treatment accordingly with the help of study model analysis. The next is to assess the record the dental anatomy, intercuspation, okay, occlusion we can record with the help of study models, and arch form. We should always maintain the arch form during the orthodontic treatment. There are 3 arch form: U shape, V shape and Euro shape. So we always maintain the arch form. So we can easily record the arch form with the help of study models. The record the curve OSP, again it's the curve OSP which is runs in the mandibular arch. So we can record curve OSP, curve Wilson, okay, with the help of study models. Next is to evaluate the occlusion with the articulator. We can measure progress during the treatment. We can compare pre, mid treatment and post treatment cast with the help of study models. We can detect the any abnormalities, distorted arch form with the help of study models, and we can provide a record before, immediately after and several years following treatment for the purpose of studying treatment procedures. So we can compare the pre-treatment, post-treatment or mid-treatment cast and with the help of study models. Nowadays we are using digitized study models. We can digitize or we can scan the models with the help of scanners. So nowadays scanners, with the help of scanners we can scan whole maxillary or mandibular arch, and we can save the records in a digital form. So there are OrthoCAD system. It is digitized the study models, capture assessment and storage system, and it provides 3D record of the model. So here you can see in the system we can put the cast, and after that we can scan the whole maxillary and mandibular study models. So what are the advantages of digital study models? First, it is virtual cast can be kept in digital format, and we can eliminate the storage problem. Immediate data transmission will be there. The measurement on the digital cast is easy. Okay, we can easily do the measurement on the cast, and digital image can be made bigger. Now the digital study cast can be used for patient motivation and storage original malocclusion in 3D format. What are the disadvantages of digital study model? These are, if the plaster of dental cast are poor, if the anatomic portion doesn't produce accurately, so there will be some problem with the digital study models. Then the dental images in mixed dentition are difficult to recognize and measure, and digitization, the dental cast is a laborious process, and it has always been made under the same conditions. So we should always scan in the same condition. So this is all about the study models. And again, these are the base former. With the help of base former, we can always produce the study models, and we can produce the anatomy portion of the part. In disadvantage, the dental images in mixed dentition are difficult to recognize. So it is difficult to take digital study models of the deciduous dentition, and the digitization in dental cast is a laborious process. So there are always the disadvantages and advantages of digital study models, but very popular study models is our 3D casts, and with the help of study models we can diagnose and we can treatment plan the orthodontic problems. Thank you.